Well, hello everybody. Christina Jordan here, Master Nutritionist here at Fit Body Weight Loss, and I'm also a top 10 nutritionist in America. So I decided, you know what, tonight I'm gonna teach on a subject that most people, when I tell them these foods, they are just blown away. They're excited, they're like, no wonder I feel so good when I eat those foods. And I wanna talk about the top 10 foods for boosting your mood naturally. This is naturally. But I'm also gonna share the world's #1 sexiest fruit or food out there. I'm gonna share with you guys what it is. Yes, there's actually a vegetable out there. It's a vegetable, I'm giving you a hint, that is known as nature's Viagra. So this is the sexiest food on the planet, you guys. So I'm gonna give you a list of the top foods for the best mood. That's why I'm wearing a shirt tonight that says happy. And we're gonna talk about some foods and what they do for your body. But before I begin, for those of you who don't know who I am, again, my name is Christina Jordan and I'm a master nutritionist. I became a master nutritionist after personally losing over 134 pounds. I've kept the weight off now for over 10 years, and this is what I do for a living. I help people just like you learn about nutrition, learn about food, and how to fuel your body the right way. So one thing you'll notice about me is that I try to make this interesting, because let's be honest, have you ever gone and sat with your doctor and they're trying to tell you about nutrition and you just kind of zone out? Well, tonight I'm gonna make it fun. You can ask questions and I'll do my best to answer them. Okay, so let's go. All right, #1 food we're gonna begin with. This isn't necessarily my favorite, but this is a lot of favorites out there. One of the best foods out there for your mood. This is for getting happy. This food right now creates serotonin, which serotonin is a chemical in your brain that helps you feel relaxed, and it reduces anxiety, it reduces depression, and that is raw nuts. My favorites are walnuts, almonds. So if you're ever having a really stressed out day and you're at your office and your boss is just, or your employees are just, or your kids are just, right? Time to go have some nuts, okay? So that is one of the best foods you can have. Skip the candy jar. Go for the nuts, you guys. This is awesome for you. One of my favorites, like I said, is walnuts, but think of it this way. One of the best snacks you can have for stress. If you know you have a stressed out lifestyle, have a snack and plan ahead. Do almond butter with apples, right? This is great, you guys. You don't have to go to the candy jar. Go for the nut jar, right? Sounds funny. Go get your nuts, literally. Raw nuts, though. You wanna make sure you're going raw and don't go with a bunch of salt. You wanna make sure it's as raw and organic as possible, okay? #2. All right, I don't have one on me. I thought I did. Spinach. Spinach is one of the best foods on the planet, and let me explain why. Spinach is a supercharged food because it nourishes your entire body, okay? So not only are you getting the nourishment you need, every cell in your body is getting nourished, which means you're gonna feel better. So that's why it's so great to throw that into your smoothies or have a spinach salad. One of the things that I personally do is I always have a kale or spinach salad. Hands down, one of the best things you can do for yourself. Now, spinach has a special superpower though. It naturally boosts dopamine. Do you know what dopamine is? Well, dopamine is a natural reaction that you get after really great sex. Dopamine, yes, it's your feel-good hormone. Also, after having a baby, the mother's natural chemicals are boosted. The dopamine is through the roof. It's how she can look at her crying, screaming baby and go, I love you more than life itself. And it's screaming and it's wanting and it's never satisfied. It's because we're totally high on dopamine. For moms out there, you know what I'm talking about. It's how we can just be so ecstatic with it. This dopamine, it fires off in the brain because spinach has really high levels of folate and B12 complex in it. So if you don't like spinach and you're like, oh, I don't want any spinach, no thank you, Popeye, then what I want you to do is make sure you're taking a B12 complex, but it needs to be medical grade. Otherwise, you're just gonna pretty much waste your money and waste your time. So for those of you who need a good medical grade complex, try mine. I take an awesome one. I created a really good medical grade B12 complex that you take under your tongue. So it hits your bloodstream as if you were getting an injection, and your whole body just feels fantastic. Also, here's what dopamine does, and the B12 and the folate in the spinach, is it naturally boosts your body's ability for thinking and cognitive health. So have you ever had one of those days where, have you ever noticed where whenever you're in a bad mood, you tend to think slower? You're just not thinking clearly. Where maybe you're even having some issues with cognitive responses, meaning you're talking to your kids and you call them 5 different names. You can't come up with the right word, but you know the word because you named them, right? Have you had one of those days where you're drawing a mental blank? And then that doesn't lead to a good mood, you guys. Forgetting what you're gonna tell your boss in your meeting is not gonna give you a good day. So spinach and medical grade B12 that you can find in the spinach, you can just eat a whole bunch of spinach, right? Literally is gonna help you with that dopamine boost, which, like I said, that's a powerful hormone for feeling happy, right? Happy, that's what we're talking about. All right, so the next one, the third one, is one of my favorites. I got them right here. And that is strawberries, or really, honestly, any kind of berries. Berries are amazing because they are natural little bombs of antioxidants. Antioxidants, here's why it's important. If your body is fighting itself at a cellular level, meaning you don't feel good, your body is fighting itself, your immune system's down, you are not going to have a good, happy attitude, right? Happy, no mas, right? But when you feel good, you actually feel good mentally. And the truth is here, what I really like about berries is they also help with the cognitive side of things, meaning the brain side. And throwing a couple strawberries in with your salad tomorrow with lunch is gonna make a huge difference. And I know a lot of people out there, they ask me all the time, what is my take on fruit? Am I pro fruit? Am I negative fruit? And what do I feel about fruit? And here's what I say about fruit. Fruit is freaking fuel, okay? It's amazing. It's amazing fuel. And so if you wanna feel awake and alive and you're having a really low moment where you're grumpy and you're hangry and you just can't think straight and you're having a low cognitive moment, right? Go have some berries. Don't reach for a coffee. Don't reach for an energy drink. Have some fruit. Real food is your best friend. Real food, if you start eating real food instead of dieting, instead of doing the energy drinks, I promise it is gonna change your life. You're gonna feel amazing by going to real food. Nothing beats it. No protein bar, no protein shake. I know a lot of you are gonna get some flack for that, but I don't care because I'm in such a good mood because I had berries. No, literally, berries, they are amazing, you guys, and they're delicious. So with fruit, my take on fruit is this. If you're gonna do fruit, do it when you need it. Don't sit in bed at midnight eating a bunch of fruit and going to sleep. I'm chewing still, sorry. Very rude. Anyhow, fruit is fuel. So when do you need fuel? When do you need fueled up? Probably in your mornings, right? Probably maybe mid-afternoon, right? But I would reserve your fruit for when you need a boost. You need a pick me up. I include fruit in all my smoothies. I call it my rocket fuel and you will love it. Don't be afraid of fruit. It is not gonna spike your insulin in the way a candy bar would. I know people are so afraid of fruit right now. It's all hot with keto to avoid your fruit. I'm telling you, fruit is okay, okay? I lost 134 pounds having keto, or not having keto, having fruit. And so with the keto, we actually invented something that we're calling keto but better, where we're teaching our clients who come in and are on keto how to do their keto but do it in a healthier way that's sustainable. You can still have your keto, that's fine, but don't think it's bad to have fruit. Fruit is freaking awesome. Fruit is fuel, and like I said, they boost your immune system and they really help with cognitive health, meaning your brain will think faster, okay? So this is good. All right, so another one that I'm a huge fan of, and I will be totally honest, when I first started, I did not like this. Now, I'm a big fan, and that is fish, especially salmon. So the next time you're having one of those days where you are like super grumpy, you're not feeling happy, right? Salmon. Salmon is huge. Order a salmon salad. Have some salmon. Have some fish. But salmon in particular, what it does, and I wrote something down here, it's high in omega-3 fatty acids, okay? Which what that does is that's clinically proven to reduce stress and anxiety and depression. So let me ask you, do you ever have stress, anxiety, and depression, and maybe is that affecting your happy? I know we all go through that. So on your more stressful days, whether it's stress because you didn't sleep enough, stress because you got a lot on your plate, stress because you're doing too much, whatever, maybe stress because of your kids, your boss, your employees, whatever, then you need to have some salmon, my friend. Don't hit the burger. Say no to the burger. Say no to the fried food. In fact, if I can give you one food that actually feeds stress and feeds a grumpy mood, you want to know how to have your kids have the worst attitude ever? Give them fried food. Give them a bunch of fried chicken, fried French fries, corn dogs, whatever you name it, anything fried, and they will be in the grumpiest mood. You will too. Within about 45 minutes. So parents, seriously, skip the fried food if you want your kids to be happy, right? If you want the happy, skip the fried food. So my challenge for you, those are my happy foods. Now we're on to the grand finale, which is what you've all been waiting for, and I know this because I know you guys, and I know that even my own husband was like, is this real? Is this serious? This is a real thing? And that is the world's sexiest food. You may not think this is the sexiest food because most of you associate this food with rabbits or with chicks on a diet, but I'm here to tell you this food should be eaten by every married couple in America for the rest of their lives. This food should be eaten by every man in America or any country for the rest of his life. Seriously. And do I have any guesses? Can any of you guess what this food is? And here's what I'll tell you. This food has also been called Mother Nature's natural Viagra. Yes, and guess what, ladies, this also works for you. This food is super high in zinc. It's high in vitamin E, potassium, magnesium, and folate. And here's the deal. It's also high in niacin. If you've ever heard of niacin, niacin is known for actually making your entire body heat up and get hot, okay? Well, this particular food that we're going to talk about is also very, very interesting, is also known to be one of the only foods that contain 2 natural pheromones. Pheromones are natural hormones that cause you to, basically these pheromones attract the opposite sex. So when consumed by one party, so if it's consumed by a woman, you naturally attract the opposite sex with these pheromones and vice versa. So are you ready to learn what the world's sexiest food is? All right. And here is your world's sexiest food. Celery. Yes, it's the garnish that comes with your hot wings. Just so you know, the hot wings are not that hot. The real hotness in the room is from the celery. So celery, also known as just a free garnishment, known as, whoops, I'm dropping, what we give to rabbits, or, we don't even look at these as, we just think that they're just nothing, right? I'm telling you, these are known and celebrated across the world by naturopathic doctors as some of the world's sexiest foods. And I'm going to give you some details on celery and why you should be having them every single day. I like to laugh. Once I learned about this, we've been eating celery every day in this house. It's so funny. But literally, you guys, because of the ingredients in celery, you actually also burn more calories eating celery than you do not eating celery. So it has literally about 3 calories in it. And eating this is so fibrous that literally your body, and I'm going to break this open so you can see, literally, see these little strands that come with it? This is what creates the fiber strands. And so with the celery, it literally takes more work with your body to eat this than it does to not. So what that means is eating celery, number 1, you're burning calories, which is a win, right? But also all the wonderful ingredients we talked about, the magnesium, the potassium, the zinc, the vitamin E, and the niacin. Very few foods actually contain niacin with it. Because it contains all these ingredients together, it increases blood flow dramatically. So eating this, not only do you burn calories, but your temperature will rise, and blood flow on both men and women go crazy, which means when your blood flow goes crazy, you get the picture, right? It means that these are your sexy sticks. Literally, this right here, you now know the sexiest food on the planet. It's not what you thought it was. It's not the oysters. It's not chocolate-covered strawberries. In fact, this puts chocolate to shame. So if you really want to know how to get things going and how to feel a little more happy and a little more sexy, you need to add your carrots, or add your avocado, which is the #1 food for your brain. So if you want to know what's the #1 for sexy, avocado, my friends, is the #1 for happy. And I've shared on avocado multiple times this month. And here's what avocado does. This is packed with healthy fats that literally create a streamline between your brain and the food you're eating. It makes it to where you actually get nutrients to the brain. So now all the grumpy mood, the slow thinking, it's a thing of the past, because you have avocado boosting your cognitive health, meaning all of your moods, they're coming from your brain. They're coming from the food you eat. And so if you add some avocado, add your #1 sexiest food on the planet, which is celery, add your strawberries, right? And then add the salmon, add the raw nuts. And I'm telling you, if you do that this week, you add these, it looks like a big mess right now because I've thrown the celery back down. You can see what we had the most of in our house. We have celery. No, we actually, all the foods that I mentioned, we actually eat in this house. And I will tell you, since I did learn about the celery, we've had a much more consumption, where now it's every time I go to the store, we're buying it. Because not only that, but it's really healthy for your reproductive organs, both men and women, but specifically every man should be eating celery because it really helps with their prostate. It helps in that department greatly. And so I have all sons, so I want to make sure my sons are healthy, obviously. So for me, strawberries, berries, avocado, salmon, raw nuts, and of course, our favorite, right? Celery. Add this in, you guys. You're going to love it. So, and if you're not getting enough spinach in your diet, which I forgot to even mention, poor stepbrother spinach, we keep leaving him out. Make sure you're taking a really good B12. In fact, in my clinic, we have an amazing medical grade B12 that all my patients are put on for the most part. And what it does is it helps with your mood, it helps control sugar cravings. And when you combine that with the way we're talking about eating, you feel like a new person. And if I've had clients personally be able to remove the anxiety medication, depression medication, and it's been amazing because they're doing it naturally and they're not dependent on some prescription. Food is truly the greatest medicine on the planet. You can change yourself, you can change your health, you can change everything. You can even change your mood by the foods you're eating. And like I said, you guys got to learn what the world's sexiest food is, and that's your celery. So there you go. Tonight's lesson is now complete. Go get your celery. Go get your avocado, go get some salmon, go get the spinach, and definitely go get your berries and nuts. And I promise by this time next week, I want to hear from you. I want to hear how great you feel. I want to hear how amazing you feel. And of course, go get your B12. I will leave you the link above so you can get your own today. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.